The federal government is once again handing out billions of dollars to help small businesses through the pandemic.
But our ongoing NBC10 investigation found the first time the feds did this, some of that money went to major corporations and also alleged criminals and not legit small businesses. Investigative reporter Mitch Blacher looked into what's changed and if our local business owners now have a better chance this time.
Take a look at that one. See what you think of that.
Inside Pat's Music Center in Northeast Philadelphia.
Oh, you don't have a needle in there.
7 days a week, Bob DeMonico fixes record players.
Usually they do come with needles.
Shows off guitars.
That's a bass.
Whatever he has to.
Yeah. Hello, Pats.
To make sure the business his grandfather started in the 1930s carries on.
If I didn't hang on, I'd be honing for the rest of my life.
The first dollar his grandfather earned still hangs on the wall. A reminder his music shop could use a few more of them right now. He applied for a Paycheck Protection loan to help with rent. The Small Business Administration's records show he got $330.
What's the rent here? Is it $330?
No. No, the rent is over $2,000.
Bob DeMonico is one of the 340,000 business owners across Pennsylvania, Jersey, and Delaware that got a first-round Paycheck Protection loan. He says that he has applied for a second-round loan and this time is hoping for more than a few $100.
But many of the same barriers from round one are still around today. The Nonprofit Center for Responsible Lending has said since May, getting a PPP loan is heavily dependent on prior banking relationships. Small business owners like DeMonico may have 3 generations of history, but never had enough money to generate a long-term lending history with a bank.
People were able to access money that didn't need it at the expense and at the cost of small businesses and employers who really are just trying to make it through this pandemic.
For months, nonprofit watchdogs at Accountable U.S. have questioned why hundreds of publicly traded companies, some worth more than $100 million, got billions from the first round of loans. In round 2, publicly traded companies don't qualify, but the banks approving the $284 billion available still aren't liable if they approve a questionable loan.
Without accountability, unfortunately, that leaves these programs, particularly the Paycheck Protection Program, vulnerable to people looking for a quick buck, an opportunity, and honestly, fraud and abuse.
Right now, there are more than 40 active federal court cases charging at least 57 people with fraud in the first round of loans. Prosecutors say millions of Paycheck Protection dollars paid for a Lamborghini and a mansion in Florida and a Bentley and a trip to the Bellagio in Vegas. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Pennsylvania's Eastern District doesn't have any Paycheck Protection fraud cases filed. A spokesperson couldn't confirm if any current investigations exist.
This one here, I'll show you this one also.
In Northeast Philly, Bob DeMonico isn't looking for a luxury car. The third-generation business owner just wants to see a fourth generation running it.
As long as I'm here, Pat's Music will go on.
And back in November, DeMonico's longtime customers, they started a GoFundMe page for his store, and so far they've raised $6,000. He told us that he thinks he will get some money in the Paycheck Protection Program's second round. This time, the Small Business Administration says that it's using real-time fraud detection to weed out more of those people who do not qualify, Jim.